got this thing figured out for you folks. So now it does show that it is back up and live. So I hope that you can see that there in YouTube. I appreciate Turtle Lover. I appreciate you letting us know that. All right, so here we go. Again, a Christian Proctor. It looks like we have lost. What has happened? Have we had a little blink out by Ben? I do not show Ben out here. What has happened to Ben? All right, looks like Ben is there. Now Ben has flashback onto our screen. So, man, we've got some craziness. We've got dark streets here in Chicago. We're going to do a lot of this chop review because if you can see those headlights, really helps these drivers out because as we go into this TV, that is what is going to cause some of these issues. As always, we're going to have that battle box on the right-hand side, and that is going to show you in the green, that will show you the driver that we are highlighting. And it's going to show you front and behind how far those drivers are that are closest to them. We are going to see a lot of crashes tonight as these drivers almost go down to a full stop and take a right. So they're not going to be actual crashes, but we'll make sure that we get those for you. We show every little incident that's going to happen. So here we go. You can see that pace car coming around here, the right-hand turn. You can see the McDonald's sign. As this street course goes along, you're going to start to get to know it very, very well. And I'm sure all of you folks know, but iRacing created this circuit through Chicago, and then NASCAR was able to mimic that and really put that into reality, and they have been running that ever since. It's one of the most favorite road courses that a lot of viewership has. So when people watch these road races in Cup division, this Chicago street race is one of the most popular that you're going to find. Lots going on out there in chat. Again, Logan, they're saying a Crawford crew. Yeah, there are a lot of Tyler Crawford fans out here. Christina is saying, where in the world is Ernie? Ernie is there in chat with us. He is in spirit. Where did Zach qualify? Zach, are we talking Saunders or are we talking Garrison? You can see over there on the left-hand side in the Pro Division, Zach is going to start in 5th. In the AM Division, you can see that Garrison is there in 3rd. Garrison. Okay. Yeah, he is going to be in 3rd in the AM Division, Christina. He's going to be starting 3rd. This is going to be a full parade lap. That's why you are seeing these drivers go around here. You've got 65 minutes of a race, folks. 65 minutes around here. And I will tell you, you know, just from the feedback from some of these drivers, this is going to be one of the more difficult tracks for them to get around. Not only is it fairly new for a lot of these drivers, but 2, it is slippery. 3, it is bouncy. We're going to see some in-car cameras where these steering wheels are shaking. These drivers, even with the force feedback, sitting in a sim rig, these things are going to beat up on you all throughout the night, and then you've got the dark that you're going to have to contend with. So this is going to be quite the test of these drivers. Let's see if we can go back and take a look. There is Mr. Garrison right there. He is right behind Aikman Pollard. He is going to start 3rd on the grid in that AM division. So we'll keep an eye on him as we go throughout the night. We've got more fans over in Twitch saying that they can't wait to see Tyler win by a landslide. So all right. It looks like everybody's starting to get warmed up. Christian Proctor in that Scooby-Doo machine, getting those tires heated up. As you can hear him just in first gear, just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in that car, getting this thing ready to go. Cockpit of Tyler's. Here you go. There is Tyler. Man, you got to love the sound of that Mustang. That's one of the best sounding GT3s. You tell me, chat, what do you believe the best sound of these GT3s are? The Mustang has got to really be up there. I do like the Mercedes as well. The Porsche, to me, has always had a fantastic sound. Jonathan saying easily the Mustang. I do believe the Mustang is one of my favorite. I'm not really angry at the Vet. I think the Vet has a fantastic sound too. All right, here we go. It looks like they're starting to get a little antsy. You can feel it. This is the point in time for these drivers where the nerves are going to start to come in just a little bit. They're going to get ready to go. They're trying to check everything, make sure all of the buttons are pushed, everything that they've got to have. They're on the right voice channels. They've told everybody in their chat that it is probably time to hush up so that they can really focus into this thing and they can get this started. This is going to be quite the race. Brian saying Mustang, Mercedes, and the Porsche. I kind of agree with you, Brian. I think those are the ones that I talked about too. I believe if you're ranking your top 3 GT3 sounds, it's got to be Mustang, Mercedes, Porsche. I believe I'm right there with you. Slick saying, here we go, baby. That is right, man. These drivers, I will tell you, when you have a track that you're not tremendously familiar with, we all have seen the Watkins Glens, the Lagunas, Road Atlanta, Road Americas, all of those favorite tracks that everybody goes to, man. You come here to Chicago and you put some GT3s on it and you're not very familiar with it, that gets some anxiety going. It gets you a little anxious. You're going to feel comfortable enough to drive the car, but are you comfortable enough to drive it on the edge every single lap? As you can see now, that pace car is going to pull off. Here we go, folks. USRA, and we are going to bring this here to round 6 at Chicago. Christian Proctor is going to make a dive there on the left-hand side early in this race. Ben is going to fight back. He's not going to be able to hold him off. Ben's going to get a little loose. He's going to save that. That is going to get Hickman over to his outside. Ben there on the right, able to hold him off. Ben, that car still loose, as you can see him kind of try to chase it to that outside retaining wall. Hickman's going to look down to the right-hand side now. Oh, Hickman under heavy brake, and Ben is going to touch the wall, trying to stay out in front, and he is going to get that pass done, and he is going to stay there in the second position. We're going to go right back here. Zach Saunders now starting to put some pressure on Kurt. Oh, Kurt's going to take that turn wide, and that is going to open the door for Zach. Zach making that move, getting that Mustang up one spot. He is now going to be in 4th position. Right behind him is going to be another battle as Kurt is going to slide back to Miles. Oh, Miles is going to touch the wall. You saw those bumps. Oh, and Miles is going to get into the wall again, just really getting that car out of control on those bumps. Aikman Pollard right behind them. And Tyler's, in that Mustang, and he is loose in that liquid death machine. Tyler getting loose on the exit. That is going to open the door to Garrison, who's going to start looking to the inside. No, he's going to keep in line. Aikman, really one of those things that we have seen from Aikman this season has really been his ability to keep that car underneath of him and race within what that car is able to do. And sometimes it's about survival. And he does a fantastic job. So let's go back here and take a look at Zach. Zach now starting to poke around, trying to find some ways around Tyler. Man, these drivers just coming out of that back last turn before they get this hard left-hander. And you can just see the cars bouncing around. Let's see if we can go on board. I know this is pretty early, but I want to see how Zach is having to handle these bumps on the streets of Chicago. There's a big dip right there. And you can see that wheel just bouncing. And when that wheel bounces right there, he's just along for the ride at that point. All right, looks like everything's settling down there for Zach. We show a wreck by Wade. Let's go back and take a look. Oh, Wade is really going to throw it in there. And, I mean, he is wide open, misses that turn. Keeps her steady. Oh, great job by that driver. Now, I want to tell you this, folks. This driver here, Christian Proctor, has taken off. He is at a 1.4 second lead, but I want you to take a look at that timing tower there on the left-hand side. You see where that says 1:23.836? That was last lap by your man there, Ben Lawrence. He has went purple in that pro division. That last lap was the fastest lap out on the track so far, and you can see now he has cut another 0.3 off of that lead by Christian Proctor. So now that lead down to less than a second, 0.9 now. And that is not the only battle that we have for a lead. Now, Aikman Pollard trying to get by Kurt, and that has allowed Mr. Tyler Crawford to get up to the back end there of Aikman. So now only 0.4 of a second is going to separate your AM drivers in first and second. Big train coming down this stretch. Again, really hard braking going into this left-hander. You can see those rotors just glowing on these Mustangs as they try to get this thing slowed down. Tyler, again, just on hunt mode. Man, Aikman really keeping that car underneath him. You can see Tyler out-braking him going into these turns. Aikman's able to power off, but it is definitely obvious that that these two Mustangs have found some speed tonight. As you can see those headlights of Tyler as he gets into those turns really well. All right, now we're going to go back over here to Michael Hickman. As now Hickman is starting to get some pressure from Zach Saunders. Zach only a half a second behind him. Zach, we talked to him a little bit earlier. He hopped in the chat with us, and Zach hasn't been racing with us because of, just like Ernie, he does a lot of racing outside of the sim, and he's been doing that, you know, for most of the season, but he said he's coming back. He said he's going to be back hopefully for the rest of this season, so really great to see him out here. Now, he was super fast in practice. I believe he broke into the 22s, so look for him to start moving forward as well. You know, you got to think, if you're in the mind of Hickman, you have to be thinking, I just need to finish a race. You know, with everything, the amount of damage that he has taken this season, the things that the wrecks and accidents that he's been in. Now, it looks like Zach might be looking to the left. Nope, he is going to keep right in behind of Hickman. Ernie saying he'll be back next week. Good. That is a good thing to hear. Carson is right now, Carson is sitting in 6th. And he is about 2.5 seconds behind Noah Zimmerman there in 5th. All right, we haven't talked about this gentleman yet tonight, and that is Jeff Perchowski. He is all over the back end of Mark Szymanczyk. Jeff, one of your pro drivers, sitting in 7th position. right now in that pro division. Mark Szymanczyk, he is in 4th. He is your second place driver in points in that AM division, sitting right in front of Jeff. Jeff trying to find a way around. Let's see if we can hear this vet. It looks like that vet really in the apex of those turns. Jeff is getting great rotation out of that vet right now. That Porsche really good down the straights. Jeff just diving it in there. Man, that car is just on a rail. Jeff is all over the back end of Mark Szymanczyk. Oh, and Mark is going to get sideways, trying to push it outside of that turn. You saw it live right here as we were watching. Mark Szymanczyk going around. And that is going to open the door now to Jeff, is going to continue to move forward. We do show a wreck by Carson. Oh, and he's going to hit the bumps. This is going to be pretty heavy. Let's see. Is he going to back this thing up? He is already smoking. Yeah, that could be a big, big issue there. We'll keep an eye on Carson as we go through this. Again, this battle's still waging on here. And it does look like Carson has decided to stay out on track, folks. So Carson having that spin, getting that front end damage, he is still going to stay out on track and not take that down pit road. If that changes, we will show you. As you can tell on that timing tower on the left-hand side, if it shows pit, you will see those drivers that decide to come down pit road. Carson staying out. Aikman Pollard still in control of this race for your AM division. Now, Crawford is still only about 0.6 of a second. As you can see, those Mustangs, does seem like the Mustangs are a little bit more stable going over those bumps than what the Porsches are. Yeah, I mean, really, a lot of front brake in those Mustangs as Aikman is lighting those rotors up, going around this track. Now let's see if we can go back and take a look at Jeff. Jeff, again, is on the march forward. Now he's all over the back end of Zachary Garrison. Zachary with the only pink machine out here in the field. Christina, you'll have to tell us out there in chat what his decision. Oh, and he is going to get into the wall heavy. What that decision to be pink is, and I do believe that that Zach might have been trying to get out of Jeff's way here to allow that pass to happen. And Jeff is going to take the inside there and get that done. I believe Zachary was, he was trying to let him go. Jeff thought he was trying to break the draft. Zachary now going to start getting under fire from Brennan. Brennan is your pro division. So again, Zachary still holding on to that third spot there in the AM division, as now you can see Aikman go in purple for the AM division at a 23.6. Tyler right behind him at a 23.7. So he lost about a 1/10 and a half that last lap. I'll tell you, Christian Proctor really taken to this track well. And it does look like Hickman. Okay, it did show him going up to second. I believe Ben Lawrence is blinking just a little bit, but these four drivers here are starting to come together. Hickman has put some great lap times down. He's starting to sneak into the picture. with Christian and Ben. You can see now he's only about a second and a half away from Ben Lawrence. And then right behind him is Zach. So these two drivers have inched their way forward. You can see Ben just coming out of your screen there at the bottom as we're following around here with Hickman. Let's go back and take a look at this battle. Trevor all over the back end of Brennan. Trevor starting at the end of the field there in the Pro Division, working his way forward now. Trevor taking that inside line really tight. Almost making contact with that inside wall. Is he going to try to make a move? He is. He's going to get some draft. He did not get that move done. He's going to have to fall back in behind Brennan. Now looking to the outside. Now looking to the left-hand side. He's going to try to do a crossover here, I believe. Not able to get that move done quite yet. Mustang's got a lot of drive in. Brennan doing exactly what he needs to do to keep Trevor behind him. How patient will Trevor be? We got another question for you out there, folks. When you are in the position that Trevor is in here, when is it a good idea just to give a little tap to the back end of that car? Is it ever a good idea? Oh, my goodness, Trevor with some heavy impact there to that outside wall coming out of that turn. Just to get that driver offline just a little where you can take advantage of it. Yeah, people, Tristan saying, do it as soon as you can. Brian says, do it ASAP. I mean, if you're, if you know you've got a lot more speed, you certainly do not want to damage the car in front of you. But at the same time, just a small little tap gets that driver in a position where you can make that pass. If not, you're just going to sit behind and just lose seconds every lap. Yes, give them just a little love tap. All right, Kurt all over the back end of Miles now. Kurt had some issues earlier on in the race, but he has settled himself back down. Aikman not too far behind these two drivers. Aikman has really shown a tremendous amount of speed here at Chicago in that Mustang. Man, those bumps just going through that turn here, I call this the McDonald's straightaway, has just upset a ton of cars. Now Miles holding up Kurt. Kurt looking to do a little block there on Aikman, breaking some draft. Dilhoff saying that Rubbin is racing. Rubbin is racing. It is a part of it. How do you feel as the driver getting the bump? Is that fair enough? Or are you, is there revenge coming in the next corner? All right, as this wages on, we're going to go back and take a look. Trevor still trying to work his way around Brennan right here. Extremely tight. Oh, my goodness. There is a 3-car accident up front. Christian Proctor wrecking. Ben Lawrence crashing. Michael Hickman crashing. Zach Saunders crashing. Oh, Christian is going to spin it. Oh, and that Hickman's going to get into him. Zach Saunders. Oh, and he's going to back into Zach. Tear the rear bumper off. Hickman now having to stop and wait on Christian. Oh, my goodness. Let's go back from Zach's standpoint and see what happened. Right here, Christian spun on this turn, and here he comes. Everybody stop. Oh, and then Christian's just going to back right into Zach there. Oh. Let's see what happened. Let's see it from Hickman's point of view here. Oh, and then Christian's just going to slide right in front of him there too. Man, he slides right in front of Hickman and then backs right into Zach. That takes out your top 4 drivers in your pro division. What happened to Tyler Crawford? Let's go back and take a look. Right behind Aikman. Oh, and he's going to loop it, folks. Spins it back around. That is okay. Tyler's going to get that thing right back out on the track. Now, Miles showing as a wreck. Man, now things are starting to heat up. Are we seeing some tire wear here on the track? Hickman gets a little sideways. Hickman with heavy front end damage again. They're going to go around this turn. Oh, and there is another big pile up. And that is going to put Aikman in the middle of that as well. Let's see what happened to Aikman. I think he tried to slow down. Oh, just right into the back. That's pretty heavy damage for that driver. Tristan, it looked like, you know, I don't really know what happened here. We're going to go back and take a look at Miles. Let's see if we can hop on board with him. He's going to try to take this turn. This is a bad angle for Miles. And he bumps into that inside wall, and that hits Hickman, puts him right into Hickman. Okay, so let's see if we can go back and take inventory of what we got here, folks. So we had a 4-car crash. That was your leader, Christian Proctor, Ben Lawrence. Oh, my goodness, and now Trevor with a huge impact there. So you had Christian Proctor, Ben Lawrence, Michael Hickman, and Zach Saunders, all 4 getting in a wreck. You can see every car slipping and sliding now, as it looks like we have some pretty significant tire wear that is creating some issues. And that has opened the door for Jeff Perchowski. Now, Jeff up from just back in the pack about 7th or 8th. Now he's up to 4th. But now, where is Christian? So let's go back and see where Christian is. He is still on the track. I believe Christian now has repaired this car. Yes, he has. So Christian back out on the track after going in and getting those repairs done. And then you had Michael Hickman with some heavy front end damage. Michael now all over the back end of Wade Moskowitz. And it does look like he has come in and got that front end damage fixed. Now Wade still running around. You see all the damage to the front end of Wade's car. So there was the first crash, and those were your 4 leaders. Again, that was Christian, Ben Lawrence, Hickman, and Zach Saunders. So then we go to Miles and their wreck, and that was Miles, Hickman. Kurt got in the middle of that. Aikman Pollard took damage. He was your leader in the AM division, and then Jeff Perchowski was able to sneak through there. It shows him with some damage as well. So let's go back and take a look at Aikman, who Aikman now is 4th in the field overall. And if we can get some light on the front end of Aikman's car, we can see how bad that damage was. I don't think for Aikman it was too bad, but he did get some pretty heavy front end damage. Dilhoff saying, reports Tyler isn't feeling well. He sure is a fighter. I will tell you, he might not be feeling well, but he is still running second. He's about 9 seconds behind there. All right, so we're going to get all of this set back up. It looks like Jeff Bruchowski has went into pit lane again. As you can see on that timing tower, where it says Kurt, and you can see where it had it red in pit. Now you can see the green pit exit. So Kurt is now coming out of the pits. Jeff Bruchowski's went into the pits. All of that noise, everything that has happened, we are now setting this thing back up to where Ben Lawrence has taken over the lead. He has some pretty significant front end damage. You know, Zach Saunders right behind him, he has some front end damage as well. Actually, it's probably some passenger door damage. Nonetheless, these two drivers are all over the top of each other. Only 3/10. You can see it. Just about a fender between these two drivers. Zach has found some speed, and he is all over the back end of Ben. He's going to get into the wall a little bit before taking this left-hander. But, man, he is hanging this Mustang out. Now he's going to go to the right-hand side, try to outbrake him. He can't make that happen. Ben, he's going to have to tuck right behind Ben. Man, having to pass that lapped car really slowed Zach down. I think Zach caught that in the worst spot possible. Let's see what happened to Rory. Just looped it. I think someone in the chat said it best. It is time for 4 fresh tires. And here come your 2 leaders. That is Ben Lawrence and Zach Saunders coming down pit lane. We're going to stick with Ben right here. Let's see if Ben decides to get that damage fixed in a fast repair. Zach Saunders is down in his pits. Who is going to get out first? Man, you can see now Zach down on the ground already. Ben now down on the ground. Zach is going to go. He might win this battle off pit road. He's going to do it. Now, overall in your field, right now is Aikman. Zach getting the lead off of pit road. We're going to be interested to see how these drivers are going to work this out. Can Ben Lawrence work that magic that he had going purple earlier in that race? Now, Zach is your purple driver in that Pro Division at a 22.554. And he now has a clean, fixed Mustang. All right, so in your Pro Division, that is going to turn the lead over here to Brennan. Brennan has not come down pit road yet. He is going to lead Zach Saunders by about 20 seconds. Ben, coming out of pit lane, come in the leader, is now in third. He will be the second overall. Oh, no, another wreck by Miles as we just went right over to him. It looked like he was in a battle. Let's go back and take a look at this. Looks like Michael Hickman was right behind him. And we saw these two tie in just a little earlier. Oh, and it looks like Miles is just going to loop it around back under the throttle. Spin it around and take off again. Well, no damage to Miles. I hope you are all taking a breath. It has been a rough and rowdy first half of this race, and we're not even halfway done with this thing. Miles with a little bit of a blink there. You can see the other drivers going up the hill in the background as we stay here. Closest battle, it looks like. Oh, did we go back to another? We have clicked on another driver that has wrecked. And now Mark Szymanczyk is going to have to wait. Oh, let's go back and see as he's going to try to get himself turned the correct way. This is going to be a bump issue. Yeah, there it is. He just hits that bump. No damage to Mark's car. What has happened to Aikman? In the Mustang, your leader in the AM division, showing that he has crashed. Yep, and again, just under power, hitting those bumps. Not a lot of damage there. But here's going to be the biggest... Oh, he's going to spin it around and probably go right into the pits. He said, I got to do it anyway, so might as well do it now. Okay. We are going to reset. Let's take a little breath. It does look like everybody is spaced out a little. Let's check our chat here. It looks like Brian said action-packed race. Yeah, it has been one of those races. Tristan saying what he would give to sit in the passenger seat in Tyler's car. Well, you don't have to give a whole lot. And we don't... Let's sit with him instead of in the passenger seat. Let's just take a ride on board in this Mustang, and we'll see if we can take a lap around Chicago, on the streets of Chicago. That elevation change, especially in those Mustangs, such a blind turn. Really bumpy exit here. That is what is burning a lot of the Porsches. It looks like the Porsches are wheel hopping, coming out under power there. Noah Zimmerman in the pits. Tyler looks like he is in a nice rhythm right now. He's looking at the back of Zachary Garrison. That is going to be for position, folks. That is for your second spot in that AM division, as he has just run him down in a hurry. We show Ben has crashed again. We'll go back and take a look at that. We're going to stick with this battle for just a second on board. Oh, Ben has crashed in a big way. It does look like he is getting passed over and over again. So we'll go back and take a look at that. Oh! Tyler coming out right on the back end there of Garrison. Christina Zach needs to get rolling. Tyler is on the march. So hard to find a spot. Oh, and he's going to check up just a little bit, and that is going to open the door here. I do believe Zach's going to let that happen. Yeah, he didn't have a choice. He bobbled coming out of that turn. Put him in a really bad spot. So put that driver up to second position there in your AM division. Now let's see if we can go back and take a look and see what happened to Ben. And there it is. Same spot that Aikman lost it. Oh, this is just a nightmare. Trying to get... Oh, and he's going to knock the rear clip off. Trying to get turned around. Oh, and he slowed down. Michael Hickman almost got it again. I will tell you, if there is a magnet driver this season, it is going to be Hickman. You can see Ben's bumper still dancing around back there at the pit road entry. Okay, so let's reset this thing. Let's get back live where we can show your tower. Zach Saunders, now your leader, and a leader in a big way. Ben Lawrence spinning out there. He is going to have an 11-second lead over Christian Proctor. Christian with a nice battle back here, folks. We saw him a little bit earlier tear the front and rear end off of his car. He is back to second now. Jeff Perchowski with the drive of the season for Jeff, up to third position there in the Pro Division. Aikman Pollard still holding on to first. However, Aikman had a little bit of damage, and it looks like Tyler is starting to move forward and run that driver down. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go along. Zach is going to round out your top three there in the AM division, and it does look like Tyler already with a 4-second lead. Something has happened to Zach. There's some damage on this car. Zach, one of your stronger AM drivers tonight coming out, and it does look like he has slowed in a pretty big way. I'm not sure what happened. He's about 5 seconds slower than what your second place driver is, and about 3 seconds slower than the driver behind him. This is per lap on a 1:30 laps. So something is definitely hurt on Garrison's car. Ernie saying cold tires. It definitely, we'll keep an eye on it, Ernie, and see. Now, he did turn back down to a 125.4 there. So if that was cold tires, it did take him a couple of laps to get those tire tips back up and rolling. It does look like that was a lot better lap time than what he had previous. So, oh, Mark Samancic with a wreck. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened to Mark. Just coming down this elevation change. Hard brake zone here to the right. And he's not going to make the braking zone. He's just going to slide forward. Probably lost where he was at there on the track. That is so easy to do in a place like this. You kind of get stuck in a zone, and you forget where you are out on the track. We're gonna go right, stay right here with Zach. We're gonna see what he's gonna turn this lap. Jeff Perchowski with a 1:22.903 last lap. That is your third place driver. He's about 4 seconds behind Christian Proctor. So Jeff has found something. He was about 0.6 faster than Zach Saunders, which we're only halfway through this race, so he still has some time. Yeah, Zach turning a 126 there. I think he's just probably playing it cool here. Let's see what's happened to Wade Moskowitz. Wade with another wreck indicated on our tower. And he's going to take that in way too hard. Oh, you can see the flashing lights there of Perchowski going by. All right, so last lap, Zach is going to cross that start-finish line at a 1:23.654. I mean, I will tell you, Zach is hanging that Mustang out. Let's see if we can go on board with Zach. We'll tell you, you can really listen to Zach's throttle work, and he is one of those drivers. You can always tell the style of a driver you know, by riding on board with them and just seeing how they operate through these turns. And I will tell you, one of those things I'm noticing about Zach, this is the second time we have seen him out here with USRA, is he is one of those drivers that really enjoys driving with the gas pedal, if you know what I mean. He is using that throttle on and off to get that car to turn along with that steering wheel. You'll hear a lot of people like to be nice and smooth, get the steering wheel and the front tires to point your car. And then there's some other drivers that like to do it with the gas and brake pedal. And he is a gas and brake pedal guy, which is this Mustang is a perfect car for him to do that in. Yeah, Ernie, we do here at USRA wish you the very, very best of luck, and please keep us updated on how your weekend is going. Folks, I hate to do this to you, but it does show that Tyler Crawford has wrecked. Let's go back and take a look. It's going to get in hot. Oh, okay. Miles is going to wreck right in front of him. He had to get on the brakes to stop it. I don't believe he is going to lose a spot. He will not lose a spot, but he's certainly going to lose some time to Aikman. All right, so now Miles, let's see if Miles has a, oh, he does not have a rear spoiler. I always like watching these drivers here without a rear spoiler try to make it around these tracks, and there he goes. Oh, my goodness, that might be the end of Miles. I believe he is going to take that one. I mean, even the louvers in the back are flopping around at this point. None of these tires are moving in the back. Oh, Miles is having one of those nights. We all have those, and yep, he is going to take that thing to the pits. I don't think there's any saving that one, folks. When you do not have a rear spoiler on that car, you know, these Mustangs are really bad for it, too. You touch the rear with that Mustang anywhere, and that spoiler just falls off. All right, Aikman, still your leader there in the AM division. He is up at 10.3 seconds there over Tyler. Tyler having to really get on the binders here in this turn as we follow Zach around. When Miles spun in front of him, that's going to cost him quite a bit of time. So he's got a long march back. Christian Proctor still running well. He is in second position. But I will tell you, do not look too far because Jeff Perchowski has now cut this second place lead below a second. Now at 9/10 of a second. Jeff has found something here at Chicago. Last lap time, Jeff, 1:23.221. Hickman faster than him at a 23.102. But Jeff about 4/10 faster than Christian, as now he's going to pull in within 8/10 of a second, now 7/10 of a second on Christian. Oh, Jeff's going to get really wide there, have to check up. That's going to open that door. It gains a 2/10 of a second for Christian. Down this long pit road stretch. Oh, Hickman is going to get a little wide there. Now, these three drivers are bunched up. That last lap, Hickman goes purple, folks. 1:22.420. Your fourth place driver. Now only about 3.5 seconds behind Jeff Perchowski. Appreciate everyone tuning in tonight there on American Speed Network. We really do appreciate it. We apologize about getting that YouTube side of it up late. We had a couple of adjustments that we were making to our YouTube channel and just working out some of the bugs. We didn't miss any of the action. We got you live before we went green, so... Oh, Trevor O'Neill now showing wrecked. Let's see if we can go see what happened to Trevor really quick. He's going to hit some bumps and circle around on pit road entry. And just like we talked about, even if we can foreshadow that thing, he barely touched the wall with that spoiler, and around he went. That spoiler is gone. Now Carson showing that he wrecks. That's a slight little touch. And all of the accidents that we've seen, Carson, that is minor. All right, let's reset this thing up top because I do believe that this battle is fixing to start heating up. And you can see Christian has started to pull away. What happened to Perchowski? We show Perchowski wrecked. Did he overdrive that turn? He did overdrive that turn. Got on the throttle a little too soon. Now, the good news for Jeff, not a lot of damage or any at all to that car looping it around. The bad news for him is that faster driver there in Hickman has now taken that third spot. That's how quick it can change for you, too. You're up there battling for second, and now you find yourself in fourth with just one small mistake. All right, so now that lead for Christian Proctor over Hickman is going to be 3 seconds. So we'll keep an eye on that battle. Let's go back and check on Ben. You know, Ben had a great race. He showed a ton of speed again, leading some laps in this race. Getting some of that front end damage earlier in that accident with Christian. Has been working his way back up. Now he is in fifth. So still a really solid run here for this driver. As you can see, Wade is just going to stop. And let Ben go. Now, does Ben have... Is Ben missing the rear, the rear trunk on that car? I do believe he is. And there you go, folks. If you want to see the inside of the trunk of a BMW, there it is. I don't know. Do you think he's going to pass post-race inspection? All right. Brendan Gregg is now going to be sixth position. He has had a nice, quiet race, and sometimes that's exactly what you want. Aikman is going to be next on the field here. He is still your leader, up about 19 seconds over your second-place driver. That is Zach Garrison. And there he is with this pink Porsche. You cannot see it in the darkness, but he is now running second. Noah Zimmerman with a fantastic run. Noah is now in third. Noah, one of those drivers that chose to change cars halfway through this season. Where is next week's race? Well, you know, what we have is we have a schedule for you. So we are going to Detroit. If you can see that, that is going to be next week's race, and we will make sure that that the sun is shining. All right, folks, we're going to go back up here and check on this battle. Don't look now. 1.3 seconds are going to separate second and third place. Now 1.2 seconds. He was under fire from Jeff Jeff has now fallen back a little bit. He's about 5.6 seconds behind. And it looks like Hickman is trying to flash his light saying, hey, why don't you let me by? I'm not sure that Christian is going to do that, but as now it looks like we've got about 15 minutes to go, a little bit over 17 minutes to go in this race. It is going to come down to the wire. I will tell you, one of the great things that you can see throughout these seasons is, one, you really get to know the drivers. Two, you see all of the growth that happens with these drivers throughout the season, and you can see them just get faster and faster and faster, continue to be better and better drivers. And this league and USRA is no different. I believe, folks, that you have a family being built here in this very first season at USRA that you're going to see for seasons and seasons to come, as these drivers are going to keep battling each other. And as we go through these seasons, man, Christian's car just bouncing everywhere. You're going to start to see rivalries come about. You're going to continue to see some of these accidents happen between some drivers. Sometimes you just can't help it. You just find yourself around another driver. And that is no difference here, as now Hickman getting in that earlier accident with Christian. Now all over the back end of Christian. He wants this second position. He knows that time is not on his side, so he wants to find a way around. Michael, it has consistently been the faster car out of these two drivers, but now Jeff Perchowski looks like he is going to turn the fastest lap, last lap, at a 22.9. This is your tightest battle here on the track. As those accidents happen and these other battles start to pop up, we will certainly go back now. Looks like Hickman's going to take a look right. Christian's going to shut the door. I believe Hickman knew he was not close enough to make that pass. I think he just wanted to show him that he's not going to be patient. Yeah, Christina, Zach is doing very well. He's up to second. He's got about a 20-second gap to Aikman. So Aikman has this thing pretty well wrapped up there in that AM division. Once again, he's going to go back-to-back if everything ends the way that it is running right now. But Zach's going to bring that pink Porsche here to second position. Man, Hickman wants this. He wants this pass so bad, I believe. He is a patient driver, but he is itching to get around Christian. Let's see if we can ride on board. Man, look at that entry into that turn. Just able to get all the way to the back end of Christian's car. Now, Christian has great exit speed, so if you get into that turn really hard, you're going to lose some exit speed. And if you're defending, you're going to want exit speed more than you have entry speed, because you don't want to get passed on exit. If they pull beside of you on exit, you're in trouble. Christian knows that, and he is defending. If you remember last week when Christian was leading that race, and you can see Hickman again flashing the lights on Christian, trying to get Christian to pull over. But he made that car about 4 or 5 car widths wide. And now it looks like Hickman's going to have the inside line. And they're going to be side by side. Christian pulling back around him. What great defense by Christian here. Sparks are flying here at Chicago, literally and figuratively, as these two drivers are knotted up trying to find who is going to be second position tonight. These battles are going on about 13 seconds behind your leader. Yes, Zach, this is Chicago Street at night. Yeah, it is absolutely crazy, and we have one heck of a battle on our hands. These rotors are glowing on Hickman. He is driving this car for everything he's got all over this Scooby-Doo machine. Now he's going to look left. Christian's going to shut the door. Christian taking a wide entry there is able to hold Hickman off. Christian does really well through that part of the track. And I believe that's going to be one of the better passing areas, is to be able to hit that double right-hand turn on the inside, get one of these passes done. And, man, right behind him is Jeff Perchowski. He is not giving up. He is still coming after him as these drivers are fighting here, running about 124s. Jeff at a 123 is now about a second faster last lap. Yeah, Tyler's about 1.35 behind Zach, so we might have a battle for that second position in that AM division here very, very soon. We'll keep an eye on that. Man, Hickman putting that McLaren all over the back end. You could just see the frustration in the blinking lights. You know, those oval guys without headlights, they just, they key up and say stuff. But here on the road, you can flash those lights, let them know how frustrating it is to sit behind him. Christian getting a little loose on the exit there. Oh, and he's going to get loose on exit, coming in front of that pit lane, and that is going to put Christian ahead around 1.3 seconds. So it's not laps, it'll be time. So our race is 65 minutes long, and we are 54 and a half in. So we got about 5.5 minutes left in the race. Man, Hickman again flashing those lights. He is able to get about 0.3 of a second that last lap. So if you look, he ran a 24.4. Christian actually a lot faster there at 23.6. But this lap is going to be flipped, as that was that quick little catch that Hickman had to do that slowed him down. And you can see now Jeff Perchowski. What did I say? 5.5 minutes? Robert, did I count that incorrectly? Yeah, that is going to be 10 minutes. That's why you do not do math on air. All right, so here comes Hickman. He is starting to close back in on Christian. Now that gap, 0.7 again. So last lap, Hickman at a 22.8, Christian at a 23.1. Right here, those short right-handers, it just looks like Christian is able to get that car turned a bit better than Hickman, but it seems like Hickman on the entry of all of these other turns, he is able to gain feet and feet on Christian. And here he goes. This battle now getting heated up once again. Only 0.3 behind. For all of those out there rooting on Tyler, he hasn't gained a whole lot of ground there on Noah. Man, Hickman right back to the bumper. Here he goes. He's going to shoot left. He's not going to be able to get it done. Christian is going to bobble just a little on the exit. That is going to give him the left-hand side. Christian's going to have the preferred line, and he does get a better run off. There he goes, right-hand side. He's going to have the preferred line. Oh, and they're going to touch. That's going to put Christian in the wall. That was the bump that we were talking about, and that is going to put Hickman there to second position. There is not going to be some fantastic feelings there. Now Jeff Prochowski's going to go around, as I believe Christian's car might be hurt. Oh, it is in bad shape. That left side of that car is in rough shape. Oh, that tire is not rotating. It does not look like that left tire is steering at all. Yeah, he's got a little steer to it. That is some pretty heavy damage there for Christian. Now, that next driver in Brennan is about 28 seconds behind him. So I think he is going to be okay here for that fourth position. Wow, what a change of events. That is going to put Jeff Prochowski up to that third position. Now, how much damage did Hickman get on that? Let's see if we can go back and take a look at this pass once again. So here they go, side by side into this turn. Oh, and it just, my goodness. That drove Christian into the wall there on that next turn as well. And that's what gave Jeff that lane to pass. We do show Rory as crashed. Let's see if we can take a look, see what happened to Rory. Well, he doesn't have a front end on that Porsche to begin with. And it looks like he's going to crash again. I believe he's just going to pull that thing off and retire it for the night. No, he's just going to let them go by. Okay, so let's reset this thing and take a breath again. Zach out front in a commanding fashion. He is losing a bit of time. That lead was up to about 13 seconds, now 9.6 seconds. Jeff Prochowski's right behind there in third, behind Hickman. Christian still holding on there in fourth, and then Brennan's going to round out your top five. In the AM division, here he is, Aikman Pollard. Another quiet night of domination here in that AM division. I find myself at the end of every one of these broadcasts thinking we should have talked about Aikman a little bit more, and he just comes out and wins. Puts that Mustang up, qualifies really well, and just runs good, clean races. And here he is again, about 17 seconds up on this gentleman right here. That is Zach Garrison. Zach commanding second place lead here, 8 seconds over Noah Zimmerman. He's kind of in that spot where there's really nothing to gain one way or the other for Zach. So now it's just about hitting your marks, being smooth, not making any mistakes. There's Noah Zimmerman. He's your driver here in third. Some front end damage there on that BMW. Little touch to the wall. You can see your leader, your overall leader of Zach, right in front of him. Tyler Crawford is going to be in the fourth position here in the AM division. Tyler seems to really settle down the mid to later part in these races and really get those good finishes. If he can do the same thing he does middle to the end of these races in the beginning, that driver is going to be a handful in this AM division, not only this season, but next season as well. All right, your fifth place driver in the AM division, Mark Samancic. Mark is second place in points. We saw Mark spin this car around just a few times here tonight, having a difficulty here at Chicago Street Race. Now, a lot of these drivers are going to be running in the Majors 24 this weekend at Le Mans. So that is probably where a lot, and he's going to take that turn extremely wide. That's probably where a lot of this week's practice has went in. Mark's going to slow down, give way there to Wade. No, that was to Brennan. All right, so we have 63 minutes in, so we've got to spend a little time talking about your overall leader, and that is Zach. Zach has come out, showed a lot of speed the first time that he come and ran with us here at USRA, and I believe he got into an accident and wiped himself out there in the rain. He is back now when it is not raining, and he has taken on this Chicago street course, and he has been able to put down some fantastic lap times. That lead now 7.5 seconds over Michael Hickman. I do believe Hickman was probably one of your quicker cars all night long, but Zach beating him off of pit road, beating Ben off of pit road, setting sail. Ben having an accident about 3 laps after his pit stop really put Zach in a good position to just turn laps and save tire. And that's exactly what he is doing right here, folks. With less than a minute to go, this driver has come back out here in his second race with USRA, and he is going to take a checker flag, barring some disaster happening to him here. As you can see, that Mustang coming around one last time, and I got to tell you, it's got to be a good feeling for this driver to come out, know that he is going to run. I do believe you're going to see him here for the rest of the season. I know everybody's thinking, you know, him and Ernie are going to lock horns here very soon, hopefully next weekend when Ernie is back with us in that pro division. But, I mean, you can't – there's a ton of drivers that had some fantastic performances and shown a lot of speed. And here you go, folks. There he is. His second time here at USRA. He is going to come home your winner. Hickman is going to come home in second. He is flashing lights. He is happy. Jeff Perchowski is going to come home third. What a fantastic job by him. And let's see if we can go back here to Aikman Pollard. That's going to be your top 3 there in the pro division. Aikman finding his way around this track. As this driver one more time navigating these S turns. He is going to put another win in the books, and he is going to be able to hang a Chicago Street Trophy on his mantle here very, very soon, as he is flashing his lights coming around this one last lap. And there you have it, start-finish line. Aikman is going to pick up back-to-back wins. Not to be outdone here. Second position, Zach Garrison. He is coming around, and he's going to stop right there. He is going to be your second place finisher in that AM division. And then Noah Zimmerman, he is going to round out your top 3. And so there you've got it. We are flashing the lights here in downtown in Chicago. And let's see if we can pull up your finishing results. Let's start with your AM division. Again, Aikman Pollard picking up yet another win. Zach Garrison is in second. Noah Zimmerman third. Tyler, Mark, Rory, Carson, and Jonathan are going to round out. Jonathan, I know, did not make that field, but they're going to round out your AM drivers for tonight in the pro division. Zach is going to pick up his first win on the season. Hickman with a very strong comeback there in second. Jeff Perchowski, the drive for Jeff so far this season. I know he is glad to get a good run under his belt. Christian is going to come home in fourth. Christian had his elbows out all night long. It was a hard fought battle. He is going to wind up fourth. Brennan's going to be in fifth. Fantastic run by Brennan. Ben Lawrence is going to be in sixth. Kurt seventh. Wade in eighth. Miles in ninth. And then Trevor is going to round out your top 10 in the pro division. So let's see if we can back this thing up and find this driver. Where is this driver at? There he is. Let's see if we can get some of his stats here. And then we're going to see if we can find him in our chat, in our waiting booth. Yes, he is in the booth. Let's see if we can bring him up and have a conversation with him. Zach, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
I sure do.
Well, man, congratulations. Second race out. You are going to pick up the win here at Chicago. I guess the first thing I'm going to ask you is talk about the track. It did seem like more than other courses, it seemed like the tires started to go away a little bit here at Chicago. Talk to me about how it was like running this track at night, and talk to me a little bit about how these cars were handling.
Tire wear ever since the new update has been rather interesting. Yeah, when we got done with that first stint, I've done some other testing at other tracks, and it's just almost worth not even taking tires if you know that they're not gonna be hard on. If the track's not hard on it, you don't even take tires on your stint. The time you gain for having heated up tires compared to 60-degree temp tires is huge. So yeah, these things were wow. You had to really muscle around the track. Was was working up quite a sweat there at the end. Was getting a little fatigued. So yeah, I had a good race with with Michael and the other two guys that were running up front, and fortunately, I think Christian spun right before the fountain, caused a little uh, traffic jam, if you will. But other than that, yeah, it was uh, scraped the wall a couple times and just muscle on through to the end of the race. And luckily, I got a good pit stop and got the lead there when we pitted.
Yeah, you did it. It looked like you jumped Ben, and then it looked like Ben had a little bit of trouble after that. But yeah, if we went back to that accident there with Christian, it really involved all four of the pro drivers there, one, two, three, and four, and it looked like everybody was battling their way back. You were able to sneak through. I would say with you and Ben really had the least amount of damage out of the four of you. And then once you jumped him there in that pit, I felt like you were a little bit faster there before pit road. And, how difficult really was it at trying to find places on the track that you could pass here tonight?
There's there's only like two or three spots. And it's you have to get a good enough run out of the corner to even warrant a think about it. Down into turn one's a really good one, and then down into whatever the corner on the opposite side of the wall is from turn one. That's a good one. And then if you're brave enough, you can get it in the next one after that. But it just you really had to either catch them off guard or you had to get a mega run out of the corner and get up beside them and then dive in below them. So yeah, and just uh, I think following people was way easier than trying to lead the race. Just because you kind of knew where the limit of where the braking limit was. You didn't really have to worry about, am I gonna brake too late here or just a hair too early and scrape the wall, which I did many times. But um, it's just, I mean, just an insanely challenging track just for these cars. It was definitely a workout.
Well, I will tell you this, with all of those challenges, you certainly brought this thing home number one tonight. Congratulations. Hope to certainly see you back for the rest of this season, Zach. And we're going to turn it over to you, let you give your shout outs, and we'll get you back to your team.
Thank you. Yeah, shout out to Miles and the crew for putting this little event on. It was quite different, but it was quite a blast. So appreciate what they do.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
All right, so there was your overall winner, and the winner there in the pro division. That is Zach. What a great job by that driver. Now let's see if we can go out and find Mr. Pollard, and we're going to see if we can bring him up here to the booth. Aikman, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Sir, gotcha.
Well, I will tell you, back to back, Aikman, and I think I talked about this a little bit on the broadcast. It just seems like you find good pockets to run in, keep that car as clean as you possibly can. Couple little incidents tonight, but and it looks like you just kind of kill people with consistency, and did that again, stretching that thing out to about a 17-second lead to capture 2 in a row. Walk me through your night here at Chicago.
Oh man. Well, first off, with the lighting situation, it was pretty crazy. But I mean, it all worked out. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be initially. But yeah, man, that's kind of what I try to do. I'm not as fast as the top guys in here, so I kind of just pride myself on practicing and keeping the car straight. And I think that's really what's kind of helped me out in these situations so far this season.
Yeah, it really has, and we talk about it. I think week in and week out, where not only are you fast, but you're able to just run inside of yourself and not overextend your capabilities, and that really lends to great finishes. And you did that yet again tonight, and that is going to extend this points lead that you have here with just a handful of races to go. How do you feel about the remaining tracks, and man, how do you think this first, 2/3 of this season's went for you?
Man, I try to stay humble, to be honest with you. I don't have a lot of laps at some of the tracks we're going to. I mean, Detroit, never. I still haven't turned a lap at Detroit. I'm gonna have to make sure I lay down some good practice there, see what we can do. And I mean, Daytona, I'm not too upset about stuff like that. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of laps, but like I said, we just try to practice as much as we can, and I try to stay humble coming in each week. Just tell myself, hey, if we start in the back, we start in the back. If we start up front, we'll battle. Just try to be ready for any situation that we get put in every week.
Yeah, well, when you get in those situations, you have certainly made the most of it, and we all love just a little bit of luck, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of skill there too. So, Aikman, congratulations again on another win, sir, and we'll turn it over to you. Let you give your shout outs.
Yeah, man, appreciate it. First off, thank you for putting on the broadcast. It's awesome being able to go back and kind of watch and pick some pick some spots out, like my spin before my pit cycle tonight. So yeah, man, my spotter, he was Turtle. He was on point tonight. He kept me out of a lot of bad situations, especially with not being able to see that great. All the subpar guys I run with over there, Subpar Motorsports, my Tennessee Speed guys, just my whole team, man, couldn't do it without them. Love running with these guys.
Well, we certainly appreciate it, Aikman, and tell Turtle I appreciate it. Looks like he gave me a shout out to let me know that YouTube was not working a little bit earlier. So we got everything rolling tonight, and so did you, bringing home yet another victory here in the AM division. So congratulations to you, and we'll let you get back down to your team.
Yes, sir.
All right, so there you have it, folks. There is Aikman and Zach. Your two winners here at Chicago. Man, I will tell you, you think really that that these races are going to be kind of calm, and my goodness, the fireworks come out tonight and come out in a big way. So here we are, your two winners. And next week we're going to go to Detroit, and I will tell you, I think there's some blood boiling here tonight. I believe you'll have a couple of conversations. We're going to see that boil over to next week. I think you had some drivers with some fantastic drives tonight. Jeff Prochowski being one of those that comes to mind that are going to be strong here next week as well. So lots of great things to come for us, and hope everyone had a great night. And we are going to see you next week, same time, same place. I'm your broadcaster, John Ross. We certainly appreciate you being on board with us here at American Speed Network. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.